portion of Studio 4 is sponsored by Bestseller Publishing.
Welcome back, everybody. Joining us now is Wendy Michelle, the author of the Just In Case Workbook. It's a very unique workbook helping you plan for some of the worst case scenarios when you are not able to or not around to help your family deal with your absence. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us what inspired you to write this book and how does it help fill the gaps?
So my idea came from really both my professional experience and my personal reflection. So many years ago, I worked for a large financial corporation where they acted as a fiduciary trustee, where I saw firsthand how many people were unprepared. They were struggling to organize their beneficiaries, their file cabinets, and document what mattered most. So back then, we provided a file folder organizational packet to our clients. This was prior to smartphone existing, and not all houses had a computer, where you opened up that packet and you use the folder contents to create organization within your own home file cabinet. What I noticed was that most people, they didn't do it, or some folks started it and they never finished. So I offered to go out and help a few clients. And with doing so, that's when I learned that it was not comprehensive enough. And I started to ask myself, what about everything else that someone would need to know or act on? That folder packet, it was a really great start, but I was really starting to be concerned about what about everything else. And at the time, I was a single parent raising a little girl and truly started to worry, Alex, maybe more of an overwhelming fear about what would happen should something happen to me. Would my parents know enough to handle my entire life and know enough about my daughter's life to then be able to raise her?
Having read through part of the workbook, I feel very unprepared for a scenario where I'm not going to be able to help my family in my absence. So how can being proactive help in those worst case scenarios?
Yeah, being proactive is extremely beneficial. We all want to live forever, Alex, and be there for the ones that we care about. But accidents and illnesses, they happen every day. Tragedies are sad. Death is the one thing that we all have in common that affects everyone, regardless of our race, age, gender, or background. So, taking the comprehensive, proactive approach now to record all of your essential life details will reduce the stress and confusion for your family during those challenging times. I worry about the additional stress that would be placed on my daughter if I was diagnosed with dementia or if I had an accidental death. Being proactive, that's what I can do, as she might lack the knowledge to handle my entire life or manage my affairs. She doesn't even live in the same state as me, and I don't want her going on a scavenger hunt searching for answers. It's an emotional time for everyone, and the more proactive we are with organizing details, to help our loved ones so they do not need to make all of those heavy decisions. I mean, I know it's going to ease the burden on my daughter so she doesn't have to say, what would mom want? Because, Alex, we really want all of our friends and family to have good memories of us and not those long lasting thoughts of what a gigantic mess we left for them to figure out. And the benefits will give us peace of mind, and it will help our loved ones go from grief to gratitude rather than having your loved ones put their hands on their head saying things like, what do I do now? I have no idea where to start. How do I know if my uncle has a safe deposit box somewhere? I mean, those questions feel absolutely endless to people.
Thank you so much for joining us and spending time with us today. We have a lot more Studio 4 on the way. Please keep it here.
The preceding portion of Studio 4 is sponsored by Bestseller Publishing.